It is our fan voted WyoPreps Game of the Week. It takes us to Park County big rivalry, the Brawl, as they call it, and it's number 2 Powell on the road at third-ranked Cody, visiting with Powell head coach Chase Kistler. And thanks so much for taking a few minutes here, Chase, and talk a little bit about, since I last talked to you earlier this season, how do you feel you're doing? Especially coming off the loss to Star Valley. How has your team kind of bounced back?
Well, anytime you're going down to Afton, it's a long trip, long bus ride, and it was a frustrating game for us because we came up short on the road. But when we look back and saw that how we competed in that second half, we really felt like the first half we just didn't get off the bus, and the second half we actually competed in, and there was a lot of positives that we could pull from that second half, and just we felt like we left two quarters that we didn't play very well down there. But like I said, they're a top team in the state, so you can come up that close to them on their home field and lose by a last-second field goal. We found some positives out of it, so we bounced back pretty good, and we've been playing, pretty consistent throughout both offense and defense. Our defense has been doing really well on shutting down the run and getting better each week at the pass game. And our offense, I think, has been a lot more consistent this season with the pass and the run, not having to rely so much just on the run or just on the pass. But I've been pleased with how our guys have been getting better each week.
Well, now you got a big one in front of you, a little bit of a home playoff game for a couple of rounds, possibly on the line at this one. How are you approaching this, knowing the rivalry aspect of this matchup?
Well, I just keep telling our guys, just focus on the game. All the other stuff is awesome, and the highlights and the spotlight and the game of the week and the playoff scenarios. I said, just don't worry about the what ifs, and just worry about the four quarters that we're going to play Friday night. And some of the pressure's taken off because we are in the playoffs. Which is always one of our team goals, is to make the playoffs, especially in the 3A West Conference. Just making playoffs is a positive. So take some of the pressure off of that, and then just relish the moment. This is a big time game, and everyone wants to see it. And we know between the Park County Brawl that there's a lot of pride that's on the line. So just have fun in the moment and enjoy the atmosphere that this is creating, that they've created.
Yeah. How do you describe this rivalry? You've been around it for a while now, football and basketball. How do you describe it for those of us that maybe aren't familiar with it?
Well, it's one of the oldest rivalries that I can find. It's dated back for I don't know how many years, but when you look at the wins and losses and how many games that they've won and how many games that we've won, you look at that aspect of it, and it's just got a huge tradition, and it's a pretty tight race. I think Cody's got the edge on how many wins they have over us total games, but I think it just stems that these guys play against each other from when they're kids in every sport. Some of them are friends with them. Cody and Powell kids are sometimes friends in other sports or other competitions, and it's just big. They know each other inside and out. So yeah.
All right, what are you expecting? What do you see when you see Coach McFadden's squad this year?
Well, they're always well coached. Their line play is amazing. They do a great job up front, running the ball, controlling the line of scrimmage, defense. They always create havoc. They're always bringing 4 or 5. They always tend to blitz at the worst time possible for the offense. Great time for them to put the blitz on, and then they move around a lot up front. And, like I said, their line play is so well coached that you've got to be on point. You can't make a lot of mistakes. And then discipline, just staying disciplined and getting lined up is even challenging against them because they play at such a high tempo on offense that they just kind of go so fast that it gets you out of position for one play and it breaks for a touchdown. So I know that they can put points up on the board really quick, but we've been practicing at a high tempo all week, and we've got a lot of depth. So I'm hoping that can pay off for us.
You mentioned just really trying to have your guys focus on the game, and it sounded like you mentioned a couple keys. Anything else that you're kind of stressing to your guys this week before this one?
Well, offensively, we've got to pick up first downs so that we can control the tempo too. We don't want to have 3 and outs and let their offense kind of dictate how the game's going. We want, to pick up those first downs and be consistent. We don't need to go hurry up and match their tempo. We need to play at the speed that we can be successful at, offensively, and then defensively, we got to be prepped for their tempo and, just disciplined football.
Chase, thanks so much for yeah. And Matt said the same thing about your physical play up front. So you guys are on the same wavelength, I think.
Yep.
So, hey, I appreciate the time. I'll let you go and have fun Friday night.
All right. Thank you very much.
Our Wyopreps fan voted game of the week this week takes us back to Class 3A, and it is second-ranked Powell at third-ranked Cody. Big Park County rivalry matchup. And Matt, you've been around this rivalry for a while. How do you describe it, I guess?
Well, I think first of all, rivalries, I think were born out of small town football. And we traveled 6 hours to Evanston last week, and we had to play Powell, and they traveled 24 minutes. So to have a quality rival that close in 3A is, it just doesn't happen very often. So it's big. Love rivalries. I think they're one of the best part about sports, and I think this is a great one. So this will be the 128th time we've played this game. And I think it's 67-60 so basically 50-50, and it's always competitive, it's always physical, and it's a big deal to everybody.
Obviously, the last time I talked to you was before the Star Valley game. You lost that game. What have you seen from your team and their reaction from that loss to the Braves?
I think it's been good. You never like to lose a game, but a lot of times you learn a lot more in those games. I think, and it was good for us. It opened our eyes as coaches and players to a lot of things maybe we've been overlooking and kind of coasting on. And I think just kind of a renewed focus on what's important. And I've been very impressed with the kids and the coaches since that game.
Was there one particular area of concern that game really pointed out to you?
I don't know if it's one particular area. They're a great team, and they're a really, really good team, and they won the game. It wasn't like we lost the game; they won the game. But it showed us, I think as a head coach, that just all the little things, all the details, everywhere from mindset down to practice. That, like I said, we just been coasting a little bit, just kind of a slow drift, and just a renewed sense of urgency to get the kids back to where we need to be.
Obviously, you probably have their attention. You don't really need to get their attention for a game like this because it's a rivalry. So what do you look at when you see what Coach Kistler's group is doing this year?
Yeah, great team. I think it starts up front with Jet. He's having a terrific year on both sides of the ball. He's kind of Iron Man. He does it all, and he's in the kicking game. He's playing really good at strong safety, and then just having a lights out year passing and running the ball. He's a really good athlete, and he kind of leads them. Like it appears he's the juice, kind of behind it, the whole team. And just weapons. Stennerson is a home run in a bottle every single time. You got to be worried about him going over the top. Just a tremendous athlete as well. And then I think the biggest thing though is just they're extremely physical up front on O-line and D-lines, and that's going to be tough to replicate at practice. That's tough. It's going to be physical. So really well balanced team. They throw the ball, play action really well. They got a chance to go over the top, and then defensively they're always very good. Defensively, Coach Haney does an amazing job, and they're gonna play cover one, and you got to beat them mano a mano. So it'll be a good challenge.
So what do you stress to your kids before Friday night? What not asking for the game plan, but what are you really emphasizing in practice this week with your group?
Well, we got to be physical, number one. We got to control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. We need to be able to run the ball, and we've obviously got to stop their rushing attack. And then we got to win one-on-one matchups. And that doesn't, whether that's at O-line or D-line, whether that's at corner and wide receiver. But, at some point in time in a game like this, like, you're going to have to win one-on-one matchups, and you're not going to win them all. We need to have a short memory, and you're going to win some and you're going to lose some, and forget the ones you lose and come back to the ones you win, and hopefully stack those together. So it'll be a long game. It's going to be physical. It won't be a one play will win this thing. And our kids just need to stack those wins and keep trying to win each play individually. Treat it like 100 different plays in a game. So,
Matt, thanks again for the time. Best luck in the brawl, and hopefully we'll catch you down the road.
I appreciate it, Matt. Thank you.